Hello everyone, my name is Allison Ladon Daroui. Welcome to the Ladon method. We're going to get started. So just move at your own pace, take modifications or breaks wherever you need. From here we're going to come into our tabletop. So you'll stack your shoulders above wrists, your hips above knees, and let's move through cat and cow. In cow, dropping the belly low, bringing the chin and hips high. In cat, hollow out, bringing your chin towards chest, pelvis towards navel, moving through at your own pace. Inhaling as you drop the belly low, exhaling as you hollow out. And you might take some other organic movement. Maybe you're taking C curves of the spine, allowing your hips to move from right to left. You might take some nice big circles of the hips. And if you're taking those circles, you can reverse the direction of those circles. And once you're ready, let's take it back to center. We'll curl the toes under, lifting the hips up and back, coming into our downward facing dog. You're coming into an inverted V shape, an upside down V shape. Really feel your sit bones reach up and back towards where the back wall and the ceiling meet. Get your feet parallel and hip distance to one another. Spread your fingers out nice and wide. Try to get your ears in line with the arms, lengthening the spine. You can always bring a nice bend in your knees, allowing you to lengthen your spine even more, feeling your chest move towards your thighs. You might start to pedal out the feet here, bending one knee then the other, allowing the opposite heel to melt a little bit closer to the mat. Really deepening your breath, taking longer inhales, longer exhales. And then once you're ready, from here, you can step to the top of the mat. And from here, lift it up halfway with a nice flat back. So you can place your fingertips onto your shins right beneath the knees. Then interlace your fingers above your sacrum. And you can always grab onto a towel or a strap if it's hard to get an interlace of your fingers. Roll your shoulders back down along the spine, finding length of the spine and create space in between your collarbones. Let's bend in our right knee and then open up your chest towards the left. Good. Feeling your shoulder blades move towards one another. Then we'll take it back to center. Let's find a bend in your left knee, opening up your chest towards the right side. Breathing into it. Then we'll take it back to center. From here, you can begin to hinge forward a little bit further, allowing the interlaced fingers to reach overhead towards the top of the mat. You can find a nice bend in your knees, bringing your belly towards your thighs. Then from here, allow the interlaced fingers to guide you to an upright. Find a nice bend in the knees, release the interlace of the fingers, and then bring your arms in line with your ears. Sitting down nice and low here, trusting yourself to sit back into an imaginary chair. Bringing more weight into your heels, maybe sit back a little bit further. Try to keep your knees stacked above your ankles. Make sure your knees are always moving in the direction of your toes. Take a nice big inhale here. On an exhale, open up your chest to the left. Feel your fingertips reach in opposite directions. Your hips should stay squared off towards the top of your mat or the front of the room. Inhale, take it back to center. On an exhale, we'll open up the chest towards the right side. On an inhale, let's take it to center, reaching those fingertips high. On an exhale, find airplane arms. Reach your fingertips towards the back of the room, palms face down. Roll those shoulders back, broadening across your collarbones. Take another round of breath here. On your next inhale, we'll shoot it all the way up to standing. From here, let's find cactus arms, about 90-degree bends at the elbows, and begin to reach your chest high. Feel that rotation of pelvis towards navel. Feel your shoulder blades move towards one another. On your next inhale, let's reach those fingertips high. On an exhale, allow your hands to melt through heart center, hinging forward at the hips, folding it forward. Relax your head and neck, relax your torso down, let everything hang heavy. You can always bring a nice bend in your knees and your forward folds. Once you're ready, on an inhale, we'll lift it up halfway with a nice flat back. And exhale, plant your palms, step it back to your high plank, top of a push-up. Holding it in your high plank. From here, we're going to take a modification on the knees. So your body is in a modified plank position. We're just going to lower it halfway down, leading with the chest, bending at the elbows. Allow the elbows to move towards the back of the room, creating a 90-degree bend at your elbows, then straighten your arms. Feel that rotation of your pelvis towards your navel. You don't want to find your hips dropping down onto the mat. That can be a lot of pressure in the low back.
So lead with the chest, lowering it halfway down, then straighten those arms. Watch out for shoulders coming towards the ears. Try to get the neck long. Slide your head back into an imaginary headrest. Take a nice big inhale. On an exhale, lower halfway down. Good. From here, let's come into a child's pose. Bring your big toes together, knees out wide. Reach your fingertips towards the top of the mat. Rest your third eye down onto the mat. Bring your palms together to touch and begin to walk your elbows forward as your thumbs come towards the back of your neck, towards the nape of your neck. Taking another round of breath and lower those palms down, and let's take it back in to our tabletop. From here, curl the toes under, lifting the hips up and back. At the bottom of an exhale, you can step or jump to the top of the mat. We'll sit those hips down low, reaching the fingertips high, coming into our chair pose. See where you can take it, trying to keep the knees above the ankles. Feel that rotation of pelvis towards navel so your spine is neutral. Take a nice big inhale. On an exhale, let's open up the chest towards the left. Keep those hips squared off to the front of the room. Inhale, let's take it back to center. Exhale, let's open it towards the right. On an inhale, let's take it to center. On an exhale, let's find those airplane arms. On an inhale, we'll rise it all the way up to standing, rising it and finding our cactus arms, reaching the chest high. Feel your shoulder blades move towards one another. Taking another round of breath here. Only once you're ready, you can reach your fingertips high, taking it back to standing. On an exhale, hands melt through heart center as you fold it forward. On an inhale, let's lift it up halfway with a nice flat back. Then we'll plant the palms, stepping it back to a high plank, top of a push-up. From here, take it right into your down dog, feeling your hips reach up and back. Then we'll take it into a high plank, lead with the chest and just lower halfway down, then straighten those arms. And remember, you can always take that modification on the knees to take that chaturanga push-up. And then from here, we'll make our way back into our down dog. On your exhale, we'll take it forward, lowering it halfway down. On our inhale, we'll lift those hips up and back, really working our arms here. This is a full body movement. Exhaling, bending at those elbows, inhaling, you're reaching those hips back. We're gonna take another few rounds here. Try to keep your core engaged, trying not to allow your hips to drop down to the mat when you take that chaturanga push-up. Good. Let's take one more. And this time you can actually make your way all the way down onto the mat. And we'll come into a Sphinx pose. So you want to plant the tops of your feet onto the mat, so the nail side of the feet. Engage your legs. So really engage your quads, those muscles above the knees. Bring your forearms parallel to one another and get your shoulders right above your elbows. Press your forearms into the mat. Feel your chest reach forward. Try to relax the shoulders away from the ears. Breathing into it. Good. Once you're ready, you can lower it down, placing one hand on top of the other. Relax your third eye, the center of the forehead down. You can begin to massage that center of intuition from right to left. Hi, Henry. Hello. This is my assistant, Henry, if you haven't met him already. Hello. Oh, thank you. That's so nice. Thank you. Thanks for sneezing in my face. And then from here, we're going to take it back into a tabletop, and then we'll make our way into our down dog. From here, at the bottom of an exhale, you can step or jump to the top of the mat. Let's sit the hips down low, reaching the fingertips high, coming into our chair pose. Inhale, center. Exhale, take it to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, take it to the right. Let's take another round this time through. And then once you're ready, take it back to center. Find those airplane arms, reaching the fingertips towards the back of the room. Rise it up to standing. Find those cactus arms, reaching your heart high. Let's take it back to an upright. Get tall. On an exhale, let's fold it forward. On an inhale, lift up halfway. Really puff out the chest between the shoulders as you lengthen your spine. On an exhale, we'll plant the palms, stepping it back to our high plank, top of a push-up, then make your way straight into your down dog. Feel those sit bones reach up and back. Take a nice big inhale. On an exhale, take it into your high plank, lower it halfway down, taking that chaturanga push-up, then lift it back into your down dog. Remember, you can always take that modification on the knees, and then making your way back into your down dog. That's always an option. Just try to check on your form here. So really feeling that rotation of pelvis towards navel. We're gonna take quite a few rounds here, really working our core, working our arms. Let's take another 3 rounds. Try not to allow your head to begin to come forward. Continue, so you remember that your head should be in your imaginary headrest. Good. And let's take one more round. Excuse me, Henry. And then once you're ready, let's take it back in to our down dog. Taking a couple rounds of breath here. And on your own time, come back into your high plank as slowly as you can. On a count of 5, we'll lower it all the way down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. From here, begin to extend your fingertips towards the back of the room. Plant the tops of your feet onto the mat. Engage your quads, those muscles above the knees. So when your palms face down, your fingertips are reaching towards the back of the room. We'll begin to peel the chest off the mat. Feel your fingertips reach towards the back of the room, lifting the hands off of the mat. Keep the back of your neck long. Your feet might also begin to lift off of the mat. Your thighs and chest might begin to lift a little bit higher, just seeing where you want to take it. And on your own time, you can lower it all the way down. Place your hands in line with your low ribs. Let's take it in to our tabletop, and then we'll take it back into our down dog. At the bottom of an exhale, you can step or jump to the top of your mat. And we'll sit those hips down nice and low, coming into that chair pose again. Taking a nice big inhale. On an exhale, let's open up the chest to the left. On an inhale, let's take it to center. On an exhale, taking it to the right. On an inhale, taking it to center, let's take one more round to the left, to the right, and taking it back to center, finding your airplane arms. Let's rise it all the way up to standing. Invite your right leg with you here. From here, we'll bring our hands to heart center. Find a nice bend in your right knee to begin, really flexing that right foot, finding your stability in your standing leg, that left leg. We'll begin to come into a warrior 3 with our hands at heart center. Ooh, trying to find your stability. Actively reaching your right heel towards the back of the room. Try to lower your right heel in line with the left. Breathing into it. And on your own time, you can land in a crescent lunge. Then we'll open it up to a warrior 2. So getting your front heel in line with your back arch. Find that nice bend in your front knee. Make sure that left knee is right above the ankle. Toes are facing forward. On an inhale, let's reverse it, reaching it towards the back. Maintain that nice bend in your front knee. On an exhale, take it into your extended side angle. Bring your left forearm to your left thigh, rotating your chest up towards the ceiling as that right arm lifts, reaches overhead towards the front of the room. From here, let's take it to an upright. We'll straighten that front leg. You might shorten your stance a little bit, preparing to come into our triangle pose. We'll begin to reach the torso forward. Rotate the arms to 12 and 6 o'clock. Bring that lifted arm overhead. And if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can also lift your lower arm as if you're carrying a ball overhead, hinging at the hips, trying to keep your side body nice and long, really grounding down the outside of that back foot, holding it here, opening up your chest towards that right side wall. And on your own time, you can open the arms nice and wide. On an inhale, reversing your triangle. From here, on an exhale, find that nice bend in your front knee. Cartwheel your hands down to frame your front foot. Let's step it back to our high plank top of a push-up. From here, come into your down dog, lifting those hips up and back. Take a nice big inhale. On an exhale, lower halfway down, taking that chaturanga push-up. On an inhale, lift those hips up and back. We're gonna take a series of these right now, so just move at your own pace. Remember, you can always take that modification on the knees and make sure you feel that core engagement. It makes it a lot easier as you're lowering down. Try not to allow the hips to drop. Good. Let's take another couple rounds. Good. And after your last round, you can lower it all the way down onto your chest. This time through, let's intent the fingertips to frame the sides of the mat. So you're getting your arms nice and wide all the way onto the floor. Press down the tops of the feet, engage your legs. Inhale, reach your chest forward. Feel the belly button move towards the spine. On an exhale, dip one shoulder towards the center of the mat. On an inhale, let's take it to center. On an exhale, let's take it to the other side, dipping the opposite shoulder towards the center of the mat. Move at your own pace. Good. Once you're ready, you can take it back to center. We'll lower it all the way down. Place the hands in line with your low ribs. Let's take it into a tabletop, then back into our down dog. At the bottom of an exhale, you can step or jump to the top of the mat. Let's sit the hips down low, reaching the fingertips high. Take a nice big inhale at center. On an exhale, open up your chest to the left. Inhale, take it to center. Exhale, open up your chest to the right. Maybe sit down a little bit lower. Let's take another round, taking it to center, opening it to the left as you exhale. Inhale at center, exhale as you take it to the right. We'll take it back to center. Find your airplane arms, and we'll rise it all the way up to standing, inviting the left leg with us on the side. So find your stability. So bringing your weight into your right leg, bend at your left knee, flexing the foot, and then bring your hands to heart center. From here, focus on one non-moving point as you begin to come into your warrior three with your hands at heart center. So you'll extend the left heel towards the back. Try to square off the hips to the mat. So you're trying to bring your left hip in line with the right. Seeing where you want to take it, feel that active pull in opposite directions. Then we'll land in a crescent lunge stance, and we'll open it right up to our warrior two. So you can always play with the distance between the feet in your warrior two. You want to get that front heel in line with the back arch. Actively reach out those fingertips. Try to get that front knee right above the ankle. Try not to compromise that form, keeping the knee above the ankle. As you inhale, you're reaching towards the back of the room, reversing your warrior. And let's take it into our extended side angle, allowing that right arm to come to the right thigh. Rotate your chest up towards the ceiling as that lifted arm reaches overhead towards the front. Breathing into it. And once you're ready, let's take it to an upright. We'll straighten the front leg. You might shorten your stance, heel toeing that back foot in a bit. Just make sure you're not locking that front knee. We'll begin to hinge forward and rotate the arms two. And then let's bring that lifted arm overhead. And maybe we bring both arms overhead. Feeling as though you're carrying a ball over your head, trying to keep your side body nice and long as you're hinging at this hip. And really try to ground down the outside of that back foot. Make sure you're breathing. And once you're ready, you can release. On an inhale, we'll reverse it, reversing our triangle. On an exhale, find that nice bend in your front knee. Cartwheel the hands down, framing your front foot. Let's step it back to our high plank, top of a push-up. This time, lowering it all the way down onto the mat. And let's come into our Sphinx pose once again. Coming onto your forearms, pressing your elbows into the mat, pressing the tops of the feet onto the mat, engaging your quads, those muscles above the knees. Feel your elbows press in towards the mat, almost feeling as though you're sliding towards the back of the mat as your chest opens. Good. On your own time, you can lower it down. Let's lift up to our tabletop. Then we'll take it in to our down dog.